Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the R2 Cents podcast. I am Asia, one of your hosts, and sitting across from me, kind of on this phone screen, is my husband, Aaron. We are going to give you just like a little update episode today. We've had quite a few guests on recently, and last week we were actually away road tripping from where we live in Chilliwack to a little town. I think it's little Kenosi Lake, Saskatchewan. It was like 20 hours of driving that we did. We broke up into like 4 days. Um, and yeah, we've just like had a lot of things on the go over the last couple months. And so we figured it would be like a good time to just give like a little update episode because we've had a few guests on talking about different things recently. And so we haven't had like a solo podcast for a little while, it feels like.
No, it has been a while.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly how many. I think it's been like 3 weeks in a row at least where we've had a guest now, hasn't it?
I think so. Yeah. So it's been like, um, yeah, I don't know. It's been a little bit since we've had to like come up with a topic of something to talk about between the two of us, which
It's
is
been
kind of
fun
which has been nice.
with the
Yeah, it's been
guests
fun.
though. I've actually really enjoyed having the guests on.
Yeah,
It's
me too. And it's cool because they've been a whole different array of people. I actually want to say it's been longer than 3 weeks because we've had four guests. Did we do all four of them back to back? I can't remember now.
I can't remember exactly, but it's been numerous weeks in a row, yeah, with the guests. So
Mhm.
we haven't done a twosome here in a while. So,
Yeah, I know. So we
but
were like, oh, this
we've
will be
had
good to do it. We actually just got back from dinner because we're celebrating our 8-year wedding anniversary today. So what a way to end the night with doing a podcast together as well.
yeah
Like we have
we've had
nothing better to do.
so I think we haven't really mentioned the house yet.
No, we
Like
haven't.
so for the last, well, if you've been following us, you know that we sort of started this whole podcasting venture when we were in Thailand. So we left home, our house here, which was going for sale at that time. This was last October, so this was October, I don't know, 2nd or something like this,
Mhm.
when we went to Costa Rica. And at the time, that's partly why we took off on a trip. Is like, you know what, we're gonna try and sell the house. We don't need to necessarily be there while it's going on. And so we left and did a cool little adventure. We ended up starting the podcast while we were in Bangkok. And then yeah, we've been doing it ever since. But just in the last, what, 3 weeks, our
Uh-huh.
house actually sold. So
Yeah.
that was a 4-year project. We bought just a bare piece of land up here in Ryder Lake. If you're from around, you maybe know where Ryder Lake is, but it's just up in the mountains from where we are, where Chilliwack is, sorry. And we bought a tree 10-acre section of land and ended up putting a house on it with a couple of my family members. And yeah, it was a great experience. And I think for everybody, I think it was a great experience for everyone. But um, yeah, so we just recently sold that and kind of now figuring out what's next for us and our family. So
Yeah.
it's
It's a bit like bittersweet because we bought it 4 years ago. 2021 is when we bought this property. And then, it took 2 years to put a house up. Then we moved, not 2 years of building, but like obviously you have permits and you have plans that have to get drawn up and it's a big process. So 2 years from like the time we bought it to the time we moved into the house pretty much. And now we've lived here for almost 2.5 years. And so it's been kind of a place like our kids were quite young when we got here. And even in that 2.5 year span, like they've changed so much. So for me, it's a little bit bittersweet because now I feel like even this summer and since coming back from our travels, now I feel like our kids are finally getting to experience like what this property is all about. Like just the freedom, being able to roam, the kids have a quad that they share and like they go ride around on the quad because we've got so much space. So like it's been really cool to see the property get used as like I would have maybe intended had we been living here, years and years and years, because now they're at that age that they can like take advantage of it. So it is a little bit sad for me, like to to think about moving on and going somewhere else, even though that was always kind of the plan. Like we knew that it was going to come and eventually we would list the house and we would sell it and that sort of thing.
It
So I
was a
knew it was,
possibility. It was a, it wasn't
yeah,
necessarily like set in stone or anything, but
it
everybody
was
knew
always a
that was a
possibility that we
possibility.
were going to like sell it and move on. So now I feel like, oh, we're just kind of hitting the sweet spot of like being able to utilize this property for what it's all about. So yeah, having it be sold is like a good thing, but it also is a little sad for me. But we fortunately, with the deal that we have in place, we don't have to move out until the beginning of December. So we get to spend the whole summer and fall here, which is also really nice because the summer is the best time to be up where we're living right now. It's when the weather is good and you can be outside all the time. It's really peaceful and quiet. It's
Yeah,
perfect. I'm glad
it's
that we
pretty
get to have one
magical.
last summer. Yeah. How do
Yeah, we
you
do a
feel
lot of
about it?
stuff
I
up
feel
here
like you're like,
when the weather's nice. There's a lot of stuff to do up here. Like we drive the quad and
yeah,
go on the roads and check out all the animals, and there's lots of things to do up here, which is nice. But
yeah. How are you feeling about it with the house being sold and what's next?
excellent. I feel excellent.
I know.
I
Aaron
mean,
doesn't get nearly
I
as emotionally attached to anything like I do.
no, I don't really.
I
I
know.
mean, I love living here. Like it's great, and my parents live in downstairs. Like it's a really big house. It's like 6,500 square feet. So we have the top two floors, which is lots of space, and they have like
Uh-huh.
2,400 square feet downstairs. So there's lots of space for them too. So I do really like to live here. I mean, it does come at a cost, like for numerous people. So I'm happy that I don't really like sitting around waiting to see if the house is gonna sell. Like I don't
Yeah.
enjoy that process at all.
Me neither.
So I'm very happy that it's happened. And now I like to have a plan moving forward. I don't like
Hmm.
to sit in limbo very often.
Yeah.
I feel like you're just kind of waiting and I don't enjoy that. So I'm very glad that it's sold. And as you said, I don't get like attached to these kinds of things at all. Like I view it as just sort of a stepping stone kind of thing, and it's awesome and it's treated us very nicely, and we've been very fortunate to live here for a while, and maybe at some point down the road we can do something like that again, but for the
Hmm.
time being, it's probably not, we're probably not going to be having 10 acres and you know,
No.
4,000 square foot home, but and to be honest, that's too much anyways. It's
Yeah.
too big.
For
But
us. Sure.
yeah, I'm excited about it. I feel like it was, we started this probably I forget exactly, maybe early spring of 21 is when we started this, and then we ended up pulling the trigger on this property in like May,
Yeah.
and then so it's been basically 4 years of
So
doing
fair.
doing different things, including building or land clearing or trying to sell it, like all different kinds of stuff. So I feel like we've been through the whole process there now, and it's time, to say goodbye and go onward. So
Yeah. I do agree with the whole actual process of selling and moving. It is, or selling just in general, is so much. And honestly, I'm so glad that we were not sitting at home for that like 9 month process of waiting for like offers and having showings and all of that because
yeah,
I think we would have gone absolutely crazy. Like the fact that we were gone for 6 months of that process was so nice because we were very detached from it. And then once we got back home, even like to have a showing on like a Saturday morning, it was you're like, oh great, now my house is a disaster and I have to clean it up and all that. Like we obviously have two young kids. Keeping a house like photo ready for people to walk through is very challenging. And
good luck.
yeah, and it just, it wasn't that was not the my most favorite part of the whole process. So I'm really glad that we didn't have to do it for that long. Once we came home and then yeah, we got an offer and it's all accepted and everything's gone through. So It's good. It's like now we can actually start planning ahead, like you said,
Yeah.
because it's really hard when you're like, oh, when's it going to sell? Or if somebody's walking through, you're like, I wonder if they're going to be the ones that write us an offer. And you're constantly like thinking about it in your head about it. Now that it's all set in stone and everything's done, the offer is accepted, it's like now we can actually plan what
Yeah,
we're going to
there's
do
lots of
next.
tricky
Instead of
things
saying,
to it too. Like, why are we gonna put Baker in school or some version of school or
yeah,
homeschool? Like, if you don't even know where you're gonna be, it's pretty challenging to like sort some of those things out. So there's a, I don't know, there's a few of those sorts of things where you just were like completely on hold. Like you can't even, you know, put them in any of these things or register because you're like, I don't know if, if
yeah,
maybe we're still here at this house, but maybe we're in a totally different place in Chilliwack, or I don't know. Maybe we're a different place outside of Chilliwack. I don't know, right?
yeah,
So
no,
that
exactly. We
limbo
ended up
period is
putting
quite, I don't know, it's just kind of like annoying it more than anything.
Yeah, because you're just your whole life's in limbo. We ended up doing preschool though for Luca, which is kind of fun because he's never done anything. So that will happen in the fall. And then it's a little bit interesting timeline wise because obviously we get to live here till December 2nd, and then we have a baby that's coming December 16th ish, right? Whenever it chooses to come, right around that time. So it's kind of like that's going to be a busy season as well with packing and moving and than trying to get someone organized before you have a new child coming. So those are things that we're also now considering as we're going forward and being like, what do we want to do now? Where do we want to where do we want to be? So lots of things to think about for the future, but
Yeah,
at least now we can plan for it, which is nice.
that month is going to be pretty crazy with December, with moving out of here and into another place, and then at some point there will be a baby come along, and then it'll be like Christmas time, and then like a week or two after Christmas we'll be going to Hawaii with a newborn kid. So
I know.
it's going to
Yeah.
be pretty
It's going to be
chaotic.
I honestly have not said this to you yet, but there is a decent chance that I just boycott Christmas this year and just stay huddled up in like whatever house we choose to live in and just like if you want to come visit me, you come to me. I just am like I think it's going to be just so much going on that I don't know. I'm not going to make any commitments this year for Christmas, I don't think.
Yeah, we'll see when the time comes, because that does not sound anything like you, but
Maybe I need it though. Maybe I'm going to need it at
that
that
sounds
time.
like me.
It sounds like
You
you
sound
would
like
be
me.
totally on board for that. You'd be like, yeah, why have we not been doing this every year?
I wouldn't be trying to convince you that we need to make 11 stops in 4 days.
No, but I also don't think that that's going to be me this year. I really am thinking that I'm going to be okay with just hunkering down in our house. I'm going to be fine with
Hopefully
it.
it snows like a foot all of December, so it's just
So
like
there's no,
undrivable, you know.
yeah,
You can't
yeah,
even move
we'll use
around.
that as our
It's just,
excuse.
yeah, it's just stationary for a month
Yeah. So that's
after
what
we
we have
move.
on the home front of something new. Um, what
Our
else?
trip.
Oh yeah, we just went on a road trip. My very first RV trip, you guys, in a motorhome ever in my life. And my first time
So
to Saskatchewan.
yeah, so my parents bought like I don't know what it is, a 30-foot RV
Yeah.
motorhome. They bought it like a couple of weeks ago, and then they used it one weekend, and they were actually going out to Saskatchewan regardless, because my sister-in-law, her sister was getting married in Saskatchewan, and they have 5 kids, my brother and his wife, and those kids needed watched by somebody. So my mom and dad were like, "Yeah, sure, we'll come out there and watch your kids for 2 days or whatever while the wedding was going on." So they bought an RV, and they asked if we wanted to go, and we are by no means campers, RVers, none of it. We are like the complete opposite of that.
The
We are
complete
like,
opposite.
give us an Airbnb with 2 bedrooms, and like that's good for us. A little
A comfy
kitchen,
bed.
maybe a balcony, but it has to have a little bit of space.
Hmm.
So this is not our gig. They asked if we wanted to go, and we are like, you know what? Sure,
Yeah.
we'll go in the RV, spend some time with my parents, and then spend some time with my brother's kids. Our kids love playing with their kids,
Yeah.
so we went, and it was like you're driving like 10 hours a day. in an RV, and then you're trying to sleep and it's tough. But I used to do it actually every once in a while because my brother went to a school in Saskatchewan, and my dad and I would drive out there and watch when they would play some hockey games. So I'd done it numerous times before, and when I used to do it, it would be like we'd leave at 9 at night kind of thing, and my dad would just drive through the night, and I would like sleep in the back, like with the back seats folded down and like half in the trunk, half in the back of the car kind of thing. This is when I'm like, I don't know, 17, so very different. But so we
Your
drove out
standards are
there.
a lot lower at 17.
My standards were a lot easier to meet at 17.
Yeah,
Now it's a little harder. So that was it was your first time
yeah,
to Saskatchewan,
ever.
which is yeah, which was my first time to Saskatchewan in the summer. So I had never seen Saskatchewan like that in the summer with sort of the agricultural section kind of going on there. I'd always been there in the winter where it's just like pure white, flat, crazy windy, and you're like white knuckling down the highway because you never know when you'll hit like ice or something. So what did you think of RVing generally,
Okay.
and what did you think of Saskatchewan?
Okay. So, well, okay. I've been as far as Medicine Hat, and then past Medicine Hat, it gets like in Alberta. Past Medicine Hat, it gets fairly flat. But going to Saskatchewan, yeah, it's what people say it is. Like it's extremely flat. There is not a lot going on other than fields upon fields upon fields. Um, but like there is some elements of beauty to it for sure. Like when you have the sun setting and you can see like as far as you could possibly see, like that is also really cool. Um, we did make one stop on the way to go visit Aaron's brother to his cousin's house, which is like a small town in southern Saskatchewan. And so that was a fun little stop too because it fit the need of having a comfortable bed and having a
Yeah, we
little.
stayed in their house. We
We
stayed in their
stayed in their
basement.
house. Aaron's parents stayed in the RV. They were thrilled to stay in the RV overnight. And she had a bedroom and she was like, "Do you guys want to sleep in it?" And we were like, "Yes, please."
Yeah.
So we slept in the bedroom. And so that filled the need of like having a comfortable bed, having a nice hot shower, having space. Like you can come upstairs, make a coffee in the kitchen. So I was like, okay, having this kind of break up, like the 2 days straight of driving was really nice. And it was good for the kids too. They obviously have a massive farm and tons of fields. And her oldest son has a dirt bike. So Baker got very comfortable on the dirt bike very quickly. So that was like a very cool experience. And the kids had a really good time there. So that was fun. Um, RVing itself though, it's not all bad. Like I don't want to sit here and like just nag the whole thing. I think it definitely creates a lot of memories and experiences. But the one thing that I always have trouble with, like no matter where I am, is if I'm not sleeping well or having like a really uncomfortable sleep, it actually really impacts like my experience throughout the whole thing. So if I'm like
Me
getting
too.
3 hours of sleep and it's like on a lumpy sofa and it's just like I'm not that happy, even though I could be having a good time or could be seeing things that my kids are doing that are so much fun. But I just it really impacts my experience. So that was something that I found really challenging with RVing is just like the comfortability of it. But like in terms of if you're going to be driving for 10 hours, like yeah, it's nice to be able to get up and make a snack or sit at the table and play card games with the kids or they can watch a TV show and you can kind of read a book or whatever it is. Like it's a comfortable way of driving, but when it comes to sleeping at night, I'm just like, no, this is not for me. And Aaron's dad, God bless him, is a savage when it comes to driving. Like he honestly could drive all night long, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
and
does
it's
it a
like
lot.
it was like there was some nights we had to just convince him to stop because it's so hard to sleep in an
Yeah.
RV with like everything's clanging, like you've got dishes and forks and knives and everything. And so every bump you go over, it's like quite loud. So if you're driving, you don't care. But when it's like midnight and you're trying to sleep, you're like, I cannot sleep like this. So like kudos to him for being able he could drive forever and just power through and all he needs is a couple cups of coffee and he's good to go, but it was like, okay, we need you to pull over because someone like I need to have a couple hours of sleep here without all this clashing and banging going on. So yeah, it was kind of funny too because when we got to the destination where the wedding was, we obviously got to like hang out with our nieces and nephews, which was really fun. Like, and our kids have a really great time there. And then there was nowhere really for us to park. So we found like 10 minutes down the way, we found this casino. And at the casino, you could park for free. You could park your RV for free, and they had free electricity hookups. So that was also really nice because the generator on the RV was not working. So that impacted our sleep too, because if we didn't have an electric hookup, then we had no air conditioning. So there was some nights that were like cooking hot, trying to sleep, a little bit uncomfortable. So, it's just like all of the camping things that people who camp are like, oh, this is camping. And for us, I'm like, yeah, I could do without this.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm just like, you know what? I like these things more like I want to know what I'm gonna get. Like I want to
Yeah.
know what, like I want to know that I have AC, or I want to know that I have a nice bed to sleep in, or I want,
Mhm.
I want to know that I can get up and like not wake up every other person in the trailer or vice versa, like,
Yeah.
but it is hard to beat like traveling in an RV where people can sit, lay in a bed, multiple beds. They can watch something on a TV or an iPad. You can play cards or games.
Mhm.
You can stop whenever you want and get out and take a little barbecue and cook some lunch. Like you can,
Yeah.
which is really nice. Like that side of it's really nice. I think just the hardest piece for us is the sleeping situation. Like I have a hard time anyways, just like I've always been this way. Like if it's a little bit bright out or like there's lights on the TV that are, I'm less so this way now, but I used to be really like that. Like I
Aaron
painted
used
my
to
room
sleep in like
black
an actual box,
when
like
I
a
was
pitch
when I
black
was younger,
box,
like high school. I painted my whole room black so that it was like pitch black.
straight up.
And so like I'm a little bit finicky when it comes to sleeping, and like Baker snores a little bit. My dad snores like crazy, and it's drove
Mhm.
me nuts my whole life. Like I can't sleep around that guy. Um, so so it's hard for me in like an RV with various noises, or somebody moves and the whole thing sort of shakes, or somebody gets up at 6 in the morning and then it's like everyone's awake now.
Mhm.
We actually, a funny story actually about my dad and I sleeping together. We were on one of our trips to Saskatchewan when Jesse was playing hockey. We were watching, and we were in, I don't know, we were in like Prince Albert or something like this. And we would obviously stay in a hotel room. And one of my friends came along. And so I don't know, we put the beds together or something. Anyways, I was sleeping beside him one night and he's just snoring away. And I took a pillow and turned and just smoked him in the face with a pillow. He's dead asleep. And so he sits up, wakes up, and he gets up. I'm watching him. I'm like, we're gonna fight right now or something. I'm so angry because I can't sleep and he doesn't know what's going on. So I hit him, just turn around, nail him with a pillow across the head as he's dead asleep. Sits up, stands up, gets up, goes to the bathroom, goes and pees, gets back in bed and lays down. And I'm like, okay, whatever. That's super weird. So, anyways, then he stopped snoring. Like, what you need is you need him to stop snoring for a little bit so you can go to sleep. And then once you're asleep, it's fine. And if you wake up, then it's a problem. So anyways, the next morning, he tells me, he's like, man, I had a wicked big pea shiver last night. It woke me up. I sat up and and then I told him that I basically bullied him over the side of the head with a pillow, and he thought it was kind of funny, but we still talk about it to this day. So him and I have never gotten along sleeping remotely close to each other. It just doesn't work for me, actually. He's fine with it, but it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, because he's the one that's snoring, so he's impacted 0%, and everyone else around
He
is.
doesn't care. I'm I'm very quiet when I sleep because
Yeah,
I am. But
thank
yeah,
goodness.
so sleeping in the RV is a challenge, but
Yeah.
it was a good it was a good trip. Like it was fun. It's a lot of driving. Like we kind of knew it was going to be a lot of driving. I mean, to the lake we were going is like it's got to be like 20 hours straight kind of thing, and we did it in like a few days. So we were like
Mhm.
10 hours kind of thing, and then we would
The first
the
like 2 days were the longest days.
yeah, because we drove like virtually straight from like 1 in the afternoon to like 2 in the morning, and
Uh-huh.
along the way we're stopping for like a couple hours, right, here and there for
Yeah.
random things, get out.
Yeah, we would
So
like
the
get
first
out
two
and
days were
find
really
park.
long, and then we stayed a couple days at my cousin's house, and he took me for a little plane ride. He's a crop duster, so he's got planes and they got all kinds of toys, which was fun to play with. And then we went to the lake. It was nice to see Jen and Jesse's kids, play with our kids, and then the way home was felt really long because on the way home,
Oh yeah,
uh,
the way home.
when we drive out at like I don't know 11 in the morning, we leave Kenosi Lake. So we got into Swift Current, which is in Saskatchewan, still at like 5 or something like this. And we get out, we hit I don't know, we must have hit like 7 different pump tracks or skate parks on our journey. We would kind of like search for those and stop at those so the kids could get out, and Baker loves them. So we end up stopping at a skate park in Swift Current, and we like take some stuff out of the trailer. We're gonna cook some food up, and I think we were making like steaks or
Yeah,
something.
we actually got stuff at the store specifically for that night
Yeah,
to actually have like a good dinner that wasn't like mac and cheese and hot dogs.
yeah. So we're like setting up some tables in the little grass area beside the skate park,
Mhm.
cooking some food on a little barbecue. It's going to be a nice, enjoyable dinner with some good food. Next thing you know, Baker's just howling away on the skate park. He was trying to do like a wheelie or something and landed on his back. He's wearing no shirt, and he had like 3 or 4 like big scrapes across his left side rib cage. He's
Yeah,
bleeding and yelling, and so
didn't feel good.
yeah, he was not doing good.
No.
And then we start eating dinner, and we're sitting there. And about 10 minutes into eating dinner, Lucas stands up out of nowhere, turns sideways, and tries to jump over the side of the lawn chair, like the armchair, catches his feet, lands on his forehead and his arm. And he just got his arm out of a cast.
Like
So he
left a
gets
week
up and starts
prior.
yelling about his arm. Oh, my arm this. Oh, my arm that. And we're like, no, dude. So we think there's a decent chance his arm's broken. He's holding it. He won't use it. So the next morning, we had to drive to Lethbridge and spend 3 hours at the hospital trying to get
Yeah.
uh, scans of his arm. And turns out it didn't break, which was fortunate. But
Yeah. I was convinced. I was like, oh man, we're gonna have to recast this kid's arm and this is gonna be brutal because he was treating it the exact same way. And I it's so hard, right? He's almost 4 and it's just like he just had a cast the week prior is when the cast came off. So of course he's a little gun shy with it and he's a little like, oh, it hurts again. So of course it's broken and he's hesitant to use it and all of this. So I was like fairly convinced that we were recasting his arm that day. I'm really grateful we didn't. But yeah, we spent 3 hours in the hospital too. And then kind of after that, I was just like, I want to bubble wrap these kids and take them straight home and just like, at least if they get hurt, then I can take them to my own hospital, you know? Like it was just like, I just want to be back in my own little comfort bubble again all of a sudden. So that kind of put a little bit of damper on like my mindset personally because I was just like, okay, I'm ready to go home now. Let's just drive straight through. Like it was,
you were
I was done.
crying in the middle of the night, like 12 at
I
night.
was I was more so just like worried about Luca because I was like, if this is gonna be his third broken arm in a year, like he broke it last year, he broke it this year, then re-breaking it again, I was more so just like, okay, this also is like a red flag to me. Like, there, why is this kid so freaking breakable? So then I was just stressed about all of the things. Like, what am I going to have to do about this now? If he needs another cast, do I have to go, like, is there friggin' bone density scans this kid needs because he's so breakable? Like, what's wrong with him that he's breaking his arm all the freaking time? So I was just like stressed about it and I just wanted to be home. And then, of course, it's like midnight. I'm sleeping on a couch pullout and there's kids snoring and adults snoring. And I was just
Yeah.
like, get me to my own bed. I need to be in my
That's
own
the night.
bed.
That's the night I kind of freaked out.
Aaron and I we were not doing well that night. Aaron gets up, he's like
It's
sweating
like
because we have
180
no
degrees
air
on
conditioning.
the cabin bed above the like driver's seat and passenger seat in this type of RV.
Yeah.
Baker and I were up there, and Luca was up there, and it was like 1,000 degrees.
Yeah.
And Baker's snoring, and I'm just like, I just lost it. Jumped down, and it's just like, we're driving home. Like, I'm like, we're driving home right now. It's like midnight. And then
We went out for
I
a
was so
walk.
hot, I just got outside, went outside and started walking around the parking lot at like midnight.
We had
My
cabin
dad's,
fever. Is that what they call it when you get stir crazy inside
I
somewhere?
don't
We
know.
we had that. We were just like we were ready to go home that day.
My dad got up and he's like, "Oh, you need me to make you another bed?" I'm like, "I'm getting out of here." I'm like, "I'm like, we're driving home, Dad. I'm not sleeping again in here."
We ended up having one more night in there and it was a better night. And then the day
Yeah,
that we actually got home was a really good day too. So it all ended up working out. But yeah, there was definitely some moments that were testy for sure where I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like I need to go home. I need my bed. I need my
yeah.
comfort space. I need it all. I need air conditioning. I need something. I don't know.
I definitely appreciate sleeping in my own bed and like just some peace and quiet and like the bed's not moving while I'm trying to sleep or I like that. I just generally need like a little bit of space anyways. Just what I just need that like I need a little bit of time by myself every day. Otherwise, I don't do so good. So
You
it's hard
don't
to do
do
that
so
in an
good.
RV. Let me tell you, very hard.
I can usually pull it together, but I was having a little bit of a breakdown that one night for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were. I could tell.
I was
I could
not
hear you.
mentally okay.
I'm sure everyone else in the RV could hear you too.
But that's a really good description of our RV experience. I'm not sure that it's something I'll add to my list of future experiences. Like I think I'm totally fine with being a one and done RV person. But chances are if my life is long, chances are I'll do it again, but
Yeah, you'll do it again.
I'll do it again.
You'll get to the point where you're like, yeah, I think I could do
I
that
could do that
again.
again. It'll be
Yeah,
different this
I don't
time.
think that sounds so bad. And then you'll do it, and you'll be like, why did I? Why? I know this. I know.
I'm sure I'll do it again. But after that experience, I was like, I could wait a while before that gets pitched to me again. I was saying to Aaron, I was like, next time I would way rather just fly to Regina, rent a car, drive to
Yeah.
Kenosi Lake if I
A lot of
have
people
to.
love it. Like my brother is built for it.
Yeah. Well, even your
Like,
parents love it so much.
yeah.
Like they are all for that. And I
No.
just like no, I could take a flight, rent a car, have an
Yeah.
Airbnb.
That's my style too.
That's my style. It might be a super like, I don't know, spoiled or like privileged way, but I prefer it
No,
time and
I
time
think
again.
I think people are just different. And
They're just different. Yeah. Yeah, your brother will like just throw mattresses in the back of his car and go for 5 days. Like he's just
yeah, he's cool with it.
they love that. And I just
He's
yeah.
cool with that.
I've never loved camping though. Even as a child, it's
No,
never been
no, it's never been my thing either. I used to like it when I was younger, but like no, I just need like a little bit of space now, and like I need to have decent sleeps. Maybe that's a bit being a bit of a baby, but I need to have decent sleeps. Otherwise, it's
I'm the same way.
hard for me to be patient with certain things.
Yeah. But I think knowing that is a strength because then you're like, no, I know when I'm my best. So I just need to create my environment to be at my best.
Well, I'm sure we'll try it again at some point, but
I'm sure we will. Because it's funny because even coming back from that, I was like, I was really wanting to like RVing because I really wanted to RV around the Vancouver Island and like all the different spots in there. And I was like, RVing would be the perfect place to do it. But now I'm
there's
feeling
different like
like I
there's
don't want
different
to do it.
ways to do it. Like there's different ways to do it. If you're like
I would want to like
what
stop and
we
like set
did
up
was like
camp. And like,
What we did was have a mobile home, and it was mobile for like 5 of the 7 days we were gone. Like it
yeah,
was
it was a lot of
driving for
driving. There
a
wasn't
lot.
like, yeah, I feel like if we were to go around like Vancouver Island, like what I would want to do is like plan ahead and have like campsites and places that you can like go and stop and you would spend the night there and like you're not
Yeah,
spending 10 hours in the car 4 days
no.
of
But
the
if you
time.
spend, a couple hours driving and then you stay in a place for a couple days and then you drive for a couple hours, like it's very different than what we did, which is like, let's go east until we get to Kenosi Lake and then let's turn around and let's come back. And we're gonna drive like 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah,
Like that's
it was
hard.
hard. It was, yeah, it had some elements that were hard for sure. But we did it.
So, yeah, maybe
Let's pat on the
maybe
back for us.
what tends to happen is you forget some of the negative things that happened on those trips, and then you're like, you know what? I remember that. That was pretty fun. We hit all the skate parks, and yeah, we cooked some steaks, and then you're like, yeah, I think we should try it again. So
What I
I
will,
know it'll happen again.
I don't want it to sound so bad because it wasn't like I'm never doing that again. Like that is not how I felt about it. There was obviously elements like going and seeing people. Like those are things that I remember. Going and
Yeah,
visiting our nieces and nephews. Like we don't get to see them. So to
yeah, for
me,
sure.
I'm like, if I had to go through that experience again, and know that like this would be the only time I'm going to see them probably for the next like 4 or 5 months, then I'd be like, yeah, of course I'm going to go do that. And I'm going to get there in that way. Like, I don't look at this and be like, I regret going. I'm so glad we went because I love visiting the people that we got to visit. So it was like those things were all really good. And then there are obviously like funny quirks of traveling in an RV and traveling with people that are just like funny and you'll remember it. And like I it's not like it was a horrible experience, but towards the end, I think the one thing that really like tainted it for me was the day that the kids both got hurt. Baker's was minor. Like I was like, he'll get over this and he'll be fine. Luca's stressed me out because I'm like, this is a third broken arm again. Cool. Love that for us. And I was just stressed about that. So then it gave me kind of like a 12-hour period of being stressed. And then after that, even though it wasn't broken, I was like, I'm ready for this kid to not be hurting himself anymore. And I just want to go home. So I was like, after that, was kind of like ready to leave. But it wasn't like the whole thing was bad. Not even close. There
It's
was a
just
lot of
not
really
like,
good things about it.
yeah, it was good. It's just not like it's just not us. Like we are not
It's not us.
RV camping people. Like that's not it's just
No,
not us. Like
no,
so it was fun. Like we did a lot of fun stuff,
we did.
but that style of trip, that's just not us. Like as you've probably seen, we're like get on a plane, stay at a place maybe far away or near a beach or whatever. Let's stay there in a rented home or whatever, and let's adventure from there with a car that we rented
And
or
then come back to a
that.
bed every night.
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Anything else that we need to catch
no,
people up on?
I think that's for the most part all caught up here.
Yeah, I think so too.
We've got coming up. We have a couple of things. I mean, we got Luca's birthday in a couple weeks. We got a few more people lined up for future episodes, which will be fun.
Mhm.
Um, that'll probably take us till September, and then at the end and middle of September, we got a trip to Mexico. So we got
Mhm.
some things going on here in the near future, next couple
Yeah,
months, 60 days. So
it'll be good. We don't do a ton of travel typically in the summer because where we live, it's so nice in the summertime. So we don't feel like we need to escape the weather. I think that we're big like weather escaping people where we're like, okay, when the weather starts to get bad, then we'll plan more trips. And this year is going to be a little different for that because when the weather starts to get bad, we're going to have a new baby. So we're definitely not going to be gone for long periods of time. So yeah, we have Mexico coming up in September and we're still not fully sure what we're going to do with that. We're definitely going to be gone for 5 days. But then after that, if we choose to stay longer, we choose to come home after. We're not totally sure. So
yeah, we
yeah,
haven't decided on that yet, but we'll find out.
but
Who
we'll,
knows? Maybe they're there for another 3 weeks. I don't know.
yeah,
I'm
who
I'm
knows?
probably not leaning that way at the moment, but we'll find out.
I'll push for it.
I know you will.
I know. Alrighty, well, I think that's all caught up for now. And thanks, guys, for listening on our life and our adventures, our way out to Saskatchewan and back. It was thrilling. And yeah, we'll be back next week with something new.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.